Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Alright, so let me quickly check the sound. It is a bit soft now, isn't it? There we go. Alright, so let's examine the patient.
Very well. I'll examine him.
There we go.
His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin. Tender at the touch. Slightly sticky.
That's totally not weird.
Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body.
Okay, so there's a foreign body which leaves behind round circular things around the
30-year-old
fingers.
subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
He has
I'm not sure I
hypothermia,
have the
which
necessary
means...
knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
Alright, so he is severely dehydrated. He is hypothermia, so his body temperature is way too low. He has dying tissue on his ears, which smells awful, logically. And there is a foreign body inside of him. So...
Did you examine his abdomen?
I think that's a fair list of
He hasn't eaten in
symptoms.
days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth.
Also, we just concluded it's not an edema, so... Of course, edema should go away. This isn't an edema, so we shouldn't assume that it goes away by itself. Now doesn't it?
In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
Well, since this is Call of Cthulhu, I might just think he's changing into a octopus or a squid, which have rings on their... I don't really think you can call it skin on the surface, and they don't have bones, I think, or if they have bones, they are very soft and basically non-existent. But he's also severely dehydrated, so let's also touch upon that topic here.
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
So his body is mutating.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients. Provide him with the best available care.
By turning him
Your
into a squid?
imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
Well, his symptoms are worrisome. Let's start with that. That's at least not as direct as you turning him into a monster. So let's say his symptoms are worrisome because they are. Let's be honest about that.
These are alarming symptoms. If we don't act, he'll die.
Do you believe that? I'm not as convinced, you see. I even think this man has a strong chance of completely healing from his ailments.
No, Doctor. This patient isn't himself anymore. He's dying.
Really? What do you mean by isn't himself?
He's changing. His physical characteristics, they are more animal than human now.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
Hey, welcome to the chat, Bam. So, yes, I desperately wanted, kill this doctor as a dialogue option, but unfortunately, there wasn't. So we have to continue letting him live. Just for now, I hope he's dead by the end of this game. And also, yes, we're playing as someone else, because we touched the book, do you remember, last episode? And then we got teleported into another person's body, which is of... I don't know her name anymore, but she's one of the nurses, or doctors actually, here. We've got this guy laying here in the corner, who is very ill. His body is sticky to the touch, has these rings around his finger, tissue is dying around his ears, he is hypothermic, and he has what seems like an edema, but really isn't, because there's probably a foreign body inside. And I just accused the other doctor, Dr. Fuller, like the main bad guy here, that he's turning this patient, and other patients apparently as well, whose files he has hidden, into monsters. Which, in fact, he probably is, and he's like, oh, I really hope you share my vision one day, and he walked away. So anyway, hidden files are proof. Nobody mentions this crime for now, and stay out of this. Well, hidden files are proof if we get our hands on them. If they are no longer hidden.
Oh, that evidence exists. I'm sure of it. I need to find the missing medical files.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep Mum.
Alright, is there anything we can do for this patient? I don't think so. I think this patient is going to die rather sooner than later. Let's investigate a little bit around here.
Medicine. Judging by the other ones, it causes heavy side effects.
Yeah, probably also the thing that was given to this poor man here. Anything around here that may give my clues? I really don't think so. I walked here before. There's nothing written on there that's of importance. Finally, I can walk around here without worrying too much. Let's...
Chronic insomnia. Like half the island.
That's indeed very true. Some man is definitely crying out in pain.
Doctor, please. My chest.
His perfusion of a semi-physiological solution doesn't seem to work. He's undergoing a ventricular fibrillation. Nurse? Deborah, come and help me, please. His potassium level is too high. Replace it with 2% glucose solution with insulin, calcium, and sodium bicarbonate.
I'll tend to it right away.
Thank you. He's in your hands.
A poor man. Poor man, and we can't really do anything, even though we know the doctor is basically killing these patients. Oh, there's some information
He
here.
broke his back in an accident down by the docks.
He's paralyzed?
The whaling station. What's wrong with me?
What are you talking about?
Doctor, that you?
Unfortunately, yes.
It's Dr. Colden. Tell me what happened.
It's the old whaling station. See?
So what happened there at the old whaling station?
What did you see there?
Nothing. Nothing at all. The floor was all rotten and I fell straight through.
And that's how you broke your back.
Perhaps. No idea. Passed out.
I mean, it is possible that you break your back when falling down. Wait, this is the widow who we talked to.
Mrs. Sanders?
What happened to
Why
her?
did nobody tell me about her admission?
The file describes the state in which Irene Sanders entered the Riverside Institute as well as the treatments administered to her. Fuller added a handwritten note. He recommends to take her down to the psychiatric wing in order to provide her with the quiet rest that she needs. Why is she here? She shouldn't... Is this man admitting everyone here in Darkwater so he can
She
turn them
recently
into
came back
whatever
from the
they...
surgical block. She's stable. Given her file, a nephrectomy would have been inevitable. But Fuller was able to save her kidney.
I find it very hard to believe. Let's walk around here. Like the medicine cabinet.
What is the boiler room key doing here? The key to the boiler room. Not
Okay.
where I expected to find it.
Can I grab it? Apparently not. I forget, like, the grab function.
The key to the boiler room. Not where I expected to find it.
Let me quickly go to settings. See, grab should be whatever I think it is. Keyboard. Interaction is E. And I've got light diary access. Okay, so I should be fine. If it doesn't say grab when I press E, there's probably no grab.
Another insomniac. I should find the cause for such a widespread trouble.
Yeah, I'm going to catch up with every one of them. What's going on here?
Dr. Colden, here you are at last. This patient was again brought up to the psychiatric wing. We've been following the treatment you prescribed, but the dysgeusia persists and he's lost a great deal of weight. We haven't been able to move him. The stress makes him hyperallergic.
Sir, I am going to examine you. Do you understand? Inject him with a dose of pentobarbital, intramuscular, so that I can conduct the clinical examination.
Alright,
He
let's...
bit his lips so much, they're still bleeding. White froth, evidently because of such drooling.
Alright, so his hands are bleeding.
His binds left bloody wounds.
So, doctor, what should we do with this patient?
Well... keep taking care of his wounds is kind of self-explanatory. I mean, we should do that, even though I probably leave the lips alone, because there's not really anything you can do there. But at least you can treat the wounds caused by the binds that we had around him when we tried to move him. I don't know what we can do anymore is like the really basic answer here, but we're not going to choose that. And this patient has been mistreated is probably a good one.
Those basement groups tied him up too tight, and now he's hurt.
I keep trying to heal his wounds, but he reopens them.
Do you have a diploma as a nurse?
Excuse me?
So take care of this man.